This is not a scope spirit. They will say like out of scope.
Cosmetic.
I would request all of you, those who are busy, can take a cup of coffee and sandwich, sir. Yeah.
Coffee.
Sure. I'm just testing it while I was testing it before, right? The power went out, so I have to test it again.
I mean, I think the key to success is not about expertise or domain knowledge or intelligence. It's about every day can you move on, every day can you bring something to the table, and I'm sure you guys have heard about all those things. Okay, let's start. Your reputation is more important than your paycheck, and your integrity is worth more than your career. I'm sure all of you will agree that, right? Every time we launch a feature, people yell at us. I'm sure every creative artist goes through this. Be undeniably good. No marketing effort or social media is required. I always tell this. If you want to pursue excellence, you don't need to worry about marketing. You just become the best in your business and you'll be there. You'll be there. You'll be right on top of your money. How many of you are really in pursuit of excellence? Lovely, 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 lovely. Vince Lombardi said, winning is not everything. Winning is the only thing. Okay? A lot of people don't have definitive goals here. I think we all should have definitive goals in everything you do. Okay, the definitive goal is a big amiss in our part of the world. We are very generic, very subjective, very friendly, and we sometimes forget the word professionalism. And professionalism is bringing your focus, domain knowledge, and work ethics to the table every goddamn day. Okay? And this is my favorite line. If you can't feed a team with 2 pizzas, it's too large. Most of the teams are too large, according to me. I mean, there are too many superfluous, and there are so many things. People are not motivated. Half the time, you have HR people talking about motivation, incentive, and stuff like that. There's hardly any professionalism. Guys, I'm telling you, you need to have this mantra. Like, you need to be focused on what you're doing. If you want to improve your business, okay, if you want to be on the top of your line, you need to be focused. Okay, you got to be charged on. You need to bring your A game every day. Okay, your domain knowledge is your base, and if you're going to compromise on your domain knowledge and you're just pursuing other things like marketing and the so-called sort of buttering up people to come up in your life, just forget it. It's not just going to happen. You need to work on your domain knowledge. You need to have the expertise. You need to have your focus, and you need to have your sustained focus. A lot of people say, don't worry about stealing your design work. Worry about the day they stop. I mean, all of you are creators here. I'm sure you have developed a lot of designs, and you constantly say, oh, he's copying my design. This fellow is copying my work. Don't worry about all this. We are going to always be there, and your job is not to worry about that. Your job is to keep moving and inching forward in your own pursuit and your own expertise. Chase the vision, not the money. Okay? The money will end up following you. As I said to your anchor, the value of having an idea is to use it. Yeah, and you need to detail. You need to have perfection. You need to document stuff. You need to be very, very focused. You need to be diligent, precise. In a nutshell, you need to be a professional every day. I mean, from an employee mode to a professional world, it's a different ball game. I'm sure all of you are here, sitting here, agree to me, right? Okay, good morning. I'm not here to give you any motivation talk or any professional ideas on business solution. I'm just kidding. Okay, I just thought, let me try on this route and see the mode. Most of you are not switched on yet. Good morning. You're not here to talk about any of this shit. Okay, forget all these things. Let's get on to fitness now. Okay, I'm not a business expert. I'm not here to give you any motivational speech. I just thought I'll go on that line and see your mood. All of you had solid looks. I was just wondering, okay, now time to change. Let's get on to fitness. Let's have a ball. Okay, put your leg up. Chill out with me today. Okay, stress. I think everybody's got their own amount of stress. I'm going to start with stress with regards to fitness today. We'll come to fitness. This is a sort of an interlinked data into fitness. These are the 6 types of stress we all go through every day. Okay, one is physical. There is too much of physical work or too little physical work. Not good for you. Okay, some people do the right type of exercise. Some people do the wrong type of exercise. You need to make the choice. Life is all about choices, and all of you here are very, very intelligent to make choices, right? That degree படிக்க சொன்னா first rank. எங்கயாவது வேலைக்கு போனா, oh, you should be impressed with me. I have to learn the best answers. You write a software program, you will write the best. But when it comes to health, it's always a compromise. பார்த்துக்கலாமே, போலாமே, என்ன அவசரம்? எங்க பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற ஒரு ஐடியா கொடுத்துருக்கா, போகணும்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன். Next Monday, I'm planning to start. This first time I'm going to start. அந்த இந்த வீக்கெண்ட் ஒரு வேளை சாப்பிட்டா அது கூட சாப்பிடக்கூடாதுங்கிற அந்த dietitian என்ன dietitian அவன்? I'll start on January 1. All these things will never happen. It's in your dream. This first Monday, January 1, Pongal day, Diwali day, all that will never happen. It will never happen. So my job here is to dampen your spirit in certain points and give you definitive closure lines. I think Indians like closure lines. Okay, I'll give you closure on a lot of things today. Okay, no debating with me. Huh? Next one is chemical. We live in a toxic world. All your food is sort of laden with toxic elements, and your stomach is a house of all sorts of toxic chemicals. Arisi edutha chemicals, vegetables edutha chemicals, and half of the time, oh, what can we do? This is what we get. If you need to sell your house to buy good food, please do it. சேர்த்து வச்சு 50 வயசு வரைக்கும் ஒரு வீடு வாங்கிட்டு கடைசியில் 50 60 எல்லா வியாதியும் செத்து. If you have to sell your house to eat good food, please do it. Okay, and we all know it. It's not that we don't know it. And your condition, oh, 25 years now, நல்ல வேலை யூஎஸ் போயிடணும், 30 years கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்கணும், 35 years குழந்தை, ஐயோ அப்புறம் பத்மசேஷத்தில் அட்மிஷன் அது கொஞ்சம் ஐயோ பையனுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு வேலை கிடைக்கும், அவனும் 10th அவனும் 12th அதே சைக்கிள் ரிப்பீட்ஸ். அப்புறம் 30th first B people, 35th diabetes pill, oh, the life goes on and it's getting worse. I mean, at least 80s, 90s it was okay. From the 90s it started changing. All the so-called processed food started coming in, and the transition generation came into it, where at least when I grew up, most of my my mother and her sisters, most of them were homemakers. My father was content. He was happy taking me out for coaching on Saturdays and Sundays. And Saturday, Sunday was the time we play more. Now I think most of them are working. Both the parents are working long Saturdays. Then they have a late night party on Saturday. Sunday they have fagged out. The kids also give them an iPad, sit down, watch a movie, sit down, and there's hardly any movement. On an average, do you guys know that in the 70s, an average man used to walk 20,000 steps? In 80s, it was about 15,000 to 20,000. Then 90s, it was about 10,000 to 15,000. Early 2000, it was about 7,000 to 10,000. Now, you know what is the average step a man takes? 4,000 to 5,000. And fitness tracker is there. Everybody's got a fitness tracker, and buy a good one. I mean, there are a lot of fitness trackers not very good. We'll talk about it later. If you take a fitness tracker, and I tracked for a couple of school kids, they were walking about 5,000 to 6,000 steps. I said, உனக்கு எந்த ஜிம் வேணா, எந்த ட்ரெயினர் வேணா, முதல்ல ஸ்கூலுக்கு நடந்து அனுப்புங்க, இல்லை சைக்கிள் அனுப்புங்க. அதே கார் அந்த ஏசி ரூம்ல போயிட்டு நிற்கும், கரெக்டாக அடித்து காரை கொண்டு வருவாங்க. அப்புறம் பேரண்ட்ஸ் வந்து இல்லை 2 times நான் வந்து டென்னிஸ் கோச்சிங் போறாங்க, இப்போ இந்த ராக்கெட் வச்சு அந்த நல்லா பெருக்கிட்டு வருவான் பையனும். அவனுக்கு எந்த ஸ்போர்ட்டும் வராது, மோரானா இருப்பான். ஆனால் பேரண்ட்ஸுக்கு பயங்கர இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஆனால் அவனுக்கு சின்ன வயசுல ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் வரல. ஸோ நவ் இஸ் at least satisfied. No, I'm sending my kids to the class and 2 times a week. What is this 2 times, 3 times a week? Your kids have to play 3 hours a day. 3 hours a week are not 3 hours. இப்போ 3 hours என் பையன் எல்லா ஸ்போர்ட்டும் பிளே ஸ்டேஷன் ஆனது இல்லை. எல்லாத்தையும் நான் பாஸ்கெட் பால் நல்லா ஆடு, லெப்ரான் ஜேம்ஸ் நேத்து தான் அடிச்சேன். எதுல? பிளே ஸ்டேஷன். You kids have to play 3 hours. I mean, I remember சம்மர்னா வந்து ஒரு டீசெண்டாக இந்த கலர்ல இருப்பேன். சம்மர் முடியுமா டார்க்கா வந்து வருவேன், ஒரு ஆப்பிரிக்கன் அமெரிக்கன். I mean, we all use the sunlight. We never had vitamin D3 deficiency. We never had a problem with endurance. We never had a problem with the mechanics. We used to fall down. We used to get hurt. The modern parents, ஏதாவது லைட்டாக ஸ்க்ராட்ச் ஆச்சுன்னா உடனே எம்ஆர்ஐ எடுத்து பார்த்துங்க. ஸ்க்ராட்ச் தான் எம்ஆர்ஐ எடுத்து பார்க்குறீங்க. Not necessary. I mean, they also don't know what to do. They hardly know. அப்புறம் a lot of corporates who come to me, சார் நான் ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு திங்க் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கேன் சார். எவ்வளோ வருஷமா சார்? ஒரு கடந்த 20 வருஷமா. It's not going to happen. Like most of them, I mean, without your knowledge, you slowly become lazy because of one of the stresses. Or the next one is electromagnetic stress. There's hardly any sunlight coming into your system. I mean, neon lights half the time. I mean, we all work late nights now with neon lights and all these gadgets around you, bright lights constantly blinking. You have to understand, whether you like it or not, you're a caveman or a cavewoman. Your DNA says, when the sun comes up, you go for hunting. Sunday on the 12 o'clock தான் எழுதிருக்காங்க. நிறைய பேர் லேட்டாக ஒர்க் பண்ணி 11 தான் எழுந்துட்டாங்க. Then what happens? Late night work. You start working after 8, 9. I mean, I've seen a lot of shift workers going through so much of stress. I told them, boss, you can continue your work, but probably you won't live for a long time. You have to make a decision. So when you put the neon lights in the night, your DNA thinks that okay, it's still sunlight, and you can't distinguish between this light and that light. So it keeps on releasing cortisol, which is a stress hormone. When the sun goes down, you're supposed to have melatonin release in your body, which is a calming hormone which says wind up, shut down. There's no winding up now, even the system, only hibernate. Only log off, no shutdown. At nights, after 6 or 7, you need to shut off. I mean, 6 or 7 is like too lofty ambition from my side. I don't think that can happen. I generally prefer people to have dinner by 7. Now, just go to bed by at least 10, 10:30. Not this 12. I think most of them 12 o'clock. Most of them 12 o'clock. Television is on, phone is next to you. So imagine the amount of electromagnetic stress. It's just mind-boggling. It will just sort of rob your whole vital energy. And without your knowledge, within no time, you'll feel fatigued, fagged out. Today's 30 is old 50. How many of you agree to this? I remember my grandmother used to go from Nangaranur to Aryapuram in a bus, two Pallavan transport bus. I don't think it's possible now. My mother used to go from Aryapuram to Ananagar, 3 buses when she was 65 years old, and she'd come back tired. She'd complain, oh, it's very hot, that, this. Nowadays, I mean, I talked to some of my cousins here. First thing when they enter in itself, from the car only they want to switch on the AC in the room. They can't be without an AC, they can't walk. If they have to do some life-saving activity, they go kaput. It's over. Game, set, and match for your opponents. Okay? Exactly. Psychic, positive mental outlook, or stinking thinking. This has been there always. This is another stress you have. Nutritional, good food, bad food. 2 spoon chakra, 2 spoon, I mean, 2 dates. You all know which is good and which is bad. It's a choice you make. Again, life is all about choices. Every day, the choices you make is so important. But then you need stress. I mean, good stress is called eustress and bad stress is called distress. You have to have a balance. You can't have bad stress all the time, and you can't imagine yourself to come up in terms in life. And thermal, maintaining good body temperature. Some people have. I know a client who came to see me some time back. I don't think she has ever walked out of an air-conditioned room or a car. She steps out of the. She says, "I've never come out of the room." She's always living within 4 walls. The first day I took her out for a walk in Gotripuram, she said, "Let me rest." But she actually, literally, she was lying down on my physio table for 40 minutes. She said, "I'm fagged out." It looked like as if she just finished the Boston Marathon. And believe me, there are a lot of people like this, and more people are vegetating like that. And without our knowledge, we also get in that direction. As I told you, the number of steps, 70s, 20,000 steps was normal. Okay, you see the old memes, people moved a lot, they worked a lot. Like primal patterns mean, you must be wondering, why is name? What are primal patterns which the gym is requiring? Primal patterns means squat, lunge, bend, push, pull, twist. These are the only 6 movements you can do as a human being. And now, if you can check yourself whether you can squat, lunge, bend, push, pull, twist without any discomfort, 1 box tick at least. Wow. And then you need to do squat, lunge, bend, push, pull, twist with a lot of force. If you can do that, then you're maintaining. Then if you can do it one better, then you're performing. So there are several layers, and in our Q&A section today, I will try to answer as many questions, and I'll try like hell to finish most of your questions. Few vital questions. What is your age? Okay, that's a very critical question for you. I think whether you're a 10-year-old or a 40-year-old or a 60-year-old, I don't think you have a choice. You need to definitely first see a fitness expert. And when I say the word fitness expert, one request to all of you guys here, when you hire a fitness professional, first question, I'm training you all to ask the first question. Ask your trainer, what is your qualification? Okay. How many of you all entrust your sort of financial statements with your storekeeper who gives you rice and all this dal? Anybody here? அதுக்கு கரெக்டாக சார்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் ஒரு பெஸ்ட்டு இல்லை சார், சார்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் கரெக்டாக வச்சுக்கணும் சார், அதில் கிளியராக இருக்கும். When you fall sick, how many of you all go see your old grandma all the time? She'll give you some medicine and you'll be fine, right from chemotherapy to cold. No, where you want to see specialist for everything. But when it comes to fitness, வீட்டுக்கு வருது சார், நல்ல பையன் சார், நல்ல பையனா நல்ல பொண்ணா பார்த்து. So அதெல்லாம் வேலைக்காது. Find a good fitness interventionist. First question you should ask them, what is your qualification? They should have some background on exercise science. Okay. Today, if 4 people here decide to become a fitness expert and you start wearing a tracksuit and take 4 lines from internet and start talking, people think you're a fitness expert. Because our industry is very, very unorganized. Okay. Sometimes I use this word, I am the one-eyed among the blind. மற்றவங்களோட 5 விஷயம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா தெரியும், அதனால எக்ஸ்பர்ட்டாக கிடையாது. Over a period of time, I mean, first off, I did all the wrong things. Then I said, this was era in 90s when I first started. I was a banker. And my father thought I was off my head. No, bank with the fitness. Then I said, no, I want to be a fitness expert. Then 90s and all, who will pay? No one will pay. They'll get some nice advice and say, so, super, sir. Then I said, this is my profession. And I first started charging people. I said, fitness பத்தி சொல்லிட்டு காசுலாம் கேட்குறாங்க, நீங்கள் ஆஃபீஸ் போய் உழைக்கிறாப்ப நானும் உழைக்கணும். I want to be a professional. That didn't exist in 90s. But probably Blue Ocean, I thought this was going to be the industry. When I started in 90s, I had this first mover advantage and things happened and rest is history. And today I'm sitting here, I'm talking like Guru Govind here, giving you all practice. Okay. These are all few questions which you can ask yourself. What is your age? Do you have a medical condition? Okay. What time you go to sleep? What are your stresses? You can rate yourself. Okay. Are you a vegetarian or prefer meat? Okay. How is your lifestyle in general? How much water do you drink? Do you consume the needed supplements? Do you play any sport? Do you exercise? What type? People say, shouldn't be childish, but you should be childlike. You should be playing all your life. Okay, it can be one sort or other, it doesn't matter, but you have to keep move. So there's a nice book called Eat, Move and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. Okay, I suggest all of you all to have that book as part of your armory and read that book. That will be a good kickstart for your life. That's a good starting book, and I am a Czech practitioner too. That's where I first started, in Vista in California. So first time when I stepped out of the country and studied there, like that was all early days in the fitness world, and I don't think India was also even cut out for the fitness in early 2000s, late 90s and all. People didn't take it seriously. All we knew was, I run in the beach, I do some exercise, I do body weight exercise. Morning is Surya Namaskar பண்றேன். Everybody's got their own ideas. I do walking. எங்க டாக்டர் சொல்லிட்டார் சார், இப்போ வந்து வயசாயிடுச்சு, வாக்கிங் மட்டும் தான் பண்ண. How do you சொல்றது? He is the person who comes after the disease. I mean, it's a job for guys like us. We come before the disease and we can give you sort of interventions with regards to health and fitness. Okay? And it is very important to understand that when it comes to food, one man's food is another man's poison. When it comes to exercise, what works for you may not work for another man. Like how we all look differently from the outside, we also function differently from the inside. We are all unique in nature. Every case is a different case. In the last 20 years, I might have seen more than 500,000 back injuries and stuff like that. Every case has been different. It's not like one size fits all. Oh, back pain, rest traction, and exercise. No. All that has changed. Okay, into early 2000, when I first went and wrote an exam, some questions I wrote ultrasound and traction, and the whole class sort of booed me. So, but sadly, feel even today, if you go to a lot of clinics, you'll say ultrasound, short wave, and stuff like that. It does work. I'm not totally refuted, but it's all 1%. It's all 1%. We get carried away with 1%. Sir, the green tea kucha inga matra kind of unniya. Morning coffee bean kucha vandu vera vechirukkranga unniya. And the honey with water cold ah kudichradinga. Hot water expect gutava irukkum. Adu detail vera. Solradhe crap, adu detail vera. So in the way, so many fads, everybody is looking for shortcuts. So the massage பண்ண கம்ப்ளீட்டா இறங்கிடுன்னு சொல்றாங்க. So morning and தண்ணி குடிச்சிட்டே I am feeling really good. I have lost weight. எல்லாம் assumption. Little assumption. All these things are 1%. I'm not telling it doesn't work. Don't get carried away. Sir, அந்த fat burners எடுத்தா அப்புறம் வந்து வெயிட் போட்டுருவாங்க உண்மையா. அதுவும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபேட் பர்னரே தேவையில்லை. ஃபேட் பர்னர் எடுத்தா அதுக்கப்புறம் அதை எடுத்தாவது வெயிட் போடணுமா. ஸோ வெயிட் ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணிட்டு விட்டா அப்புறம் ஆல் திஸ் மசில் பிகம் ஃபேட். இல்லை நிறைய பேர் கேட்டீங்க. சார் மை சன் இஸ் only 14 years old. If I do weight training, he'll get stunted. So if that is true, then Santa Claus is true. All that is like, and if you notice, all these one-liners came from somebody. If you ask me, yaar sonna? Google இருக்குல்ல. There's some app called Google. For all of you can download. Okay. Just go to Google and type out scientific research on anything they say. There will not be any conclusive evidence on any of these things. No, this actress told in a TV show that morning you have to turn east and do 20 skips, you will lose 2 kilos in 1 week. Is it true? No. If you turn to west, you will lose 4 kilos. Okay, like that, there are so many things, and they probably take us like cattle, and there are cattle will follow. People just the mandadu way follow பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்புறம் most of the time when I go to reason why I stopped going to parties is parties போய் நான் ரிலாக்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு ஓகே இன்னைக்கு நாள் உட்காந்து ரிலாக்ஸ்டா ரெண்டு பாட்டு கேட்டு வருவோம்னா சார் எனக்கு மார்னிங் எழுந்து கை இப்படி தூக்கும் போது ஓகே சார் ஆனால் ஈவினிங் அதே தூக்கும் போது எனக்கு பெயின். இந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது கேட்டுனே இருப்பாங்க. அப்புறம் how can I quickly lose weight? எனக்கு ஒரு கல்யாணம் வந்து 30 daysல எனக்கு ஒரு 5 kilos குறைக்கணும். Sir, I am having a shoot next week. I'm going for a wedding in Goa. I want to reduce 6 kilos. And a lot of men will talk. If I want, I can reduce. If I want, I can reduce. If I want, I can reduce. I heard this time and time again. அவங்க மேல் ஈகோ ஹர்ட் ஆகுது. கரெக்ட். If you want, you can பண்ணுங்க. எல்லாம் அப்புறம் அவங்கள்ட்ட எப்படி சொன்னா சரி ஓகே எல்லாம் சரி அப்புறம் அவங்க ட்ரீட் பண்ணுவோம். அதான் உண்மையாக மேக் அ டிசிஷன் டுடே. Okay, if your midsection is bulging, the body is talking to you. Please listen. Okay, if your midsection is bulging, your body is talking to you. Or bank balance கம்மியாச்சுனா எவ்வளவு பேருக்கு இந்த கவலை வரும்? எல்லாரும் midsection பெருசாச்சுன்னா வெல்த் சயின்ஸ் சார் ஹெல்த் கீழே போகுது சார் அதான் சார் சயின்ஸ். Okay, a lot of people say, sir, my parameters are fine, sir. My cholesterol is fine, my BP is fine, everything is fine. That is a medical condition. Okay, everything is fine. You're happy? You're also very happy. What about fitness? You got to live life. 30 years later, all you do is 30 years. What do you do? Sir, every day you walk, sir. 30, go out and play, man. What did you do in college? You went and played. And the famous thing in India, what sport you play? Stand up. Cricket, sir. Sport I have. Physical or sport ஆடுங்க. நீங்க எப்படி ஆடிப்பீங்க? Natural. Everybody would have played cricket in the street. So you can't call it as a sport at that time. Today it's become so athletic, guys like Virat and Umesh Yadav, they've taken sport to another level. I mean, when we all grew up, all of us played cricket in the street. And we can't consider that. That's a sort of an activity we did. I mean, obviously, you need to play some sport. Like there are so many clubs now. There are corporates have even facilities for gyms and tennis courts and squash and whatnot. I think we need to get into a system where we consult professionals. So the whole idea here at pitching here is not necessarily primal pattern. Any fitness professional, consult a fitness professional, and then you can decide, okay, this fitness professional is good, that is good, and you will have a solution for yourself. Everybody needs a solution. Like how all of you need a family physician, I think all of you need a family fitness consultant. I think that's the order of the day in today's world. Health in a nutshell. You need proper rest, proper nutrition, proper movement, and a happy soul is always a happy soul. Nobody can take that away. But I think if you do the first 3 things, you become a happy soul. And invariably, I've seen physical leaks happening into the system. A lot of people have this problem. நீங்க நல்லா நோட் பண்ணி பாருங்க, ஸ்மோக் பண்றவங்க, ட்ரிங்க் பண்றவங்க லேட் நைட், they will be very irritated always. They can snap like that. Not all, most of them. Because there are physical leaks. When you have physical leaks, you will have mental leaks. Your ability to comprehend things is a little slow. Okay, the ability to come on tops in your particular field is definitely hampered. I mean, if you don't like the answer, I will tell you, sir, that also can actually pull you down. That's sophisticated as well. But I'm telling you straight, physical leaks will definitely hamper you. And if you have mental stress, it can be financial, it can be job, it can be emotional. That is the only thing we can cut slack. The other physical leaks, if it is there, please accept it and tell yourself that can actually affect your growth, that can affect your goal, that can affect your career. Okay, and most importantly, sleep. If you can sleep regularly at 10:30, 11, and wake up at whatever time, 6 or 7 or whatever, you've done a great job. Phone, how many hours you charge in the night? 8 hours. But the human body, sir, somebody told me, sir, if I sleep 8 hours, one third of my life I'm sleeping. One third of life is sleeping. So I sleep only 4 hours, sir. I try to study. Okay, that's fine, but you can't do it continuously. Your body will take a toll. I mean, I've done late nights at 20s and 30s. Oh, 9:30 chance it's impossible. And if I don't exercise for 4 5 days, I get into depression. And a lot of people say, oh, that is your conditioning. Not bad to have this conditioning, no? Not bad at all. I think I'll sign up for that. So this is how this is called circadian. Basically, the circadian rhythm. Okay, your human body repairs between 9 and so probably 1:30, and then it repairs psychogenically from 1:30 to 6. Okay, every day if you remove physical repair, you will definitely immediately see yourself. Your metabolism is going down, your medical parameters are great, and I think I'm sure most of you will accept it. நான் எப்போ ஃபிட்டா இருந்தேன் நீங்க எல்லாம் ஒரு நிமிஷம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. You come with a number. College third year எவ்வளவு ஃபிட் தெரியுமா நான் அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த வேலைக்கு வந்து போயிடுச்சுப்பா. I was very fit till my wedding. After wedding, I lost it. Till my first kid, I was fine. After I delivered my first kid, everything went. So there is always a reference point for everyone to their own fitness points, right? I mean, it may not, everyone here is not Usain Bolt, but you know that which was your Usain Bolt moment in your life. Okay, you can definitely relate to that, and constantly we all get back to that point. I remember when I ran for India so many years back. That is my reference point. But I can never run like that for sure now. But at least I know that I can't come a cropper now. So I at least keep my strength parameters at the same level. So we all know which was our best time, and we all want to be there. But most of the time, I think it's wish. Most of the fitness goals around the world, 95% of the fitness goals in statistics. I want to start, sir. I'm planning to start, sir. I want to start this diet, but the diet which they give is not that easy. அதெல்லாம் ஈஸியா கிடைக்கும். தேர்ட் இயர் காலேஜ் 8 பேப்பர்ஸ் எழுதணும் ஒரு 2 வாரத்தில். அது ஈஸியா இருந்துச்சுன்னா அப்போ you're putting mind on it. This will not happen. Okay, you have to definitely make a decision. You have to make a decision. What do you want? Like how you make a decision that I want to make 1 million by the age of 30, I want to make 2 million by the age of 40, whatever, blah 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 blah. But when it comes to fitness and life, I think if you want to make money also, you need to be very fit. Because just to enjoy that money, you need to be fit. If you want to party hard till 60, if you want to wear your dancing shoes on Saturday, by 40 you can't be fagged out. Okay, you definitely need to be fit for that. And it can be a 3K walk for someone, or it can a guy who is very fit. He can say, okay, I want to play 2 sets of tennis with a marker. And 30 years, he takes a living out of me when I go to the tennis court. I can't last 2 sets. That can actually help you. So there's different types of goals you can have yourself, but you need to move forward. There has to be a takeaway from your decision. There has to be some deliverables from your side. Treat this as your business. All you guys are business solution providers. You know, create customer. It's very easy for you. Come with a chart, come with a program, periodize yourself, like 2 times a doctor visit or 3 times a fitness trainer visit, something like that. It's possible. You have to sort of definitely factor some time into your life. This food pyramid has been there from Gandhi time. Gandhi March used to use this food pyramid. We're still using it. Okay, carbohydrates. And now this paleo diet is cracked now. Oh, this Atkins diet is false. We sort of debunk all the diets and we follow nothing. So start somewhere. Start some nutritional plan for you. In general, now we all know for a fact that it's been followed for the last 15-20 years, and we can sort of conclude that we all live in a world where we consume excessive carbohydrates 6 times more than what it was in the 70s. Right from a takeaway or a cookie or a Maggi noodles or any sort of, I'm sorry to bring that in, any sort of processed food, it's all laden with carbohydrates. So the consumption of carbohydrates has become 6-fold, whereas the consumption of good fat and good protein is hardly. Like I've seen one kid who came to see me with a parent. I said, "What's your breakfast?" So morning she doesn't eat anything. She just have a banana and go. Goes to the school. Okay, fine, morning carbohydrates stick. But banana is good for you. Lunch canteen they give something, sir, some dosa or upma she likes, sir. Okay, lovely. Oh, wow, great nutrition. She has any protein or anything? No, not at all. Yes. She has any protein or nothing. Okay, evening she comes. Invariably, we get some sort of samosa or chana or pizza or burgers from school. Night we all come. We all have chapati and some veggies. This has been the kids' nutritional plan 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. And 10 years old, and kid was weighing about 65, 70 kilos. And I just said, parents are just irresponsible. It is their job to take care of the kid, and the kid is hardly eating anything, and there's no nutrition coming into the system. So, good nutrition is a hallmark of a child, a man, a woman, anyone. This is primal patterns for you. Squat, bend, lunge, push, pull, twist. If you can do all these things, at least one box is ticked. Age is only a number. Okay. If somebody says, sir, right side, sir, you walk on the poro. No, don't trust that. Age is only a number. Okay. Age is just a number. Who stops you from being fit? Who stops you from having a ball? Nobody. Few myths and misconceptions. How to measure fat? Sir, weight question. Family எல்லாருமே சொல்லிட்டாங்க நான் இழைச்சிட்டேன். அந்த how many of you saw the movie தளபதி? தேவராஜ் பொழிச்சுப்பாரா? பொழிச்சுப்பாரு. யார் டாக்டர் சொன்னாரா? இல்ல தேவராஜே சொன்னாரு. Some objective numbers, man. Go take a DEXA scan. Okay, DEXA scan is available in all medi centers. It is a non-invasive scientific measure, accurate, and the skin fold. How many of you have done BMI? All of them. That is from the black and white times. Okay, now color movies have come. DEXA. Okay, no more Devanand Rajkumar. Okay, யாரோ சொன்னாங்க, sir, new cricket captain is come. Sir, new captain. Virat Kohli is come. BMI also. Come on, DEXA scan. All of you all go do a DEXA scan. If you are a woman, if you are more than 32%, you have grade 1 obesity. If you are a man, if you are more than 25% fat, grade 1 obesity. If that is a call. I'll write my number and I'll give my bank account. We can start. Okay. I'm just kidding. Blood test, yes, no, or why? I think if you turn 30, at least if you don't do master health checkup regularly, at least a regular set of blood tests. Okay. I mean, you don't need to unduly worry about the regular big things because anyway the physicians take care of it. It can be a serum ferritin, it can be a zinc, it can be a magnesium, it can be a vitamin D3. Small things which are your plugins like your software. You need to constantly monitor that, and that can play havoc in the long run. Okay. Cardio too much, too less. The cardio pati okay, anyway. 40 minutes I run in the morning, 40 minutes I run in the evening. Go on. I mean, it's good and bad. And again, it has to be tailor-made. It has to be customized. It's not like one size fits all. Cardio is good. Excessive cardio is not that good also. Okay. Workout. Sometimes some people excessive workout just stress their bodies, which is not in. You need to work in also, in and yang balance. Okay, you need to work the soft energy and the sympathetic drive and parasympathetic drive. It has to be a balance. You can't be cool all the time. You can't be hot all the time. It has to be mix up everything. Okay? Vegetarian versus non-vegetarian, the diet and the debate will go on and on and on. Again, the human body does not know whether you are consuming non-veg or veg. It does not know macronutrients and micronutrients. So you have to customize it again. Food supplement, whether it's required. For a very long time, I said no supplements. I think we are all living in an era where a lot of things are processed, chemically laden, and we are robbed of the nutrient value in your food. So supplement is there, and like omega-3, unless you've been living on a cave for the last 10 years. How many of you have omega-3 fish oil capsules? Okay, only 3. Okay, thou shall consume fish oil capsules. Period. 11th commandment. Okay, if you pal teklana parvalla, fish oil capsules. Yoga, yes or no? Yoga is definitely good. But one time I wrote an article, yoga is overrated. Ella yoga for a stop. Oh, stop. Don't fight. I didn't have a brain fight like Steve Smith. Okay. I just told them, boss, I said yoga is overrated. Some people think that's be all and end all. I mean, a lot of, and if you talk to the Pilates people, will say Pilates is in it. If you talk to the power yoga guys, the power yoga is it. If you talk to the strength worker, weight training is a lot. If you talk to the runners in the weekend, it's running is everything, sir. You don't need to do everything. It's not equal to cyclists, they will swear by it. So they all behave like snake oil salesmen. They are selling products. Or they are so personal about their own community and their own territory. So again, please leave it to a fitness interventionist. Weight, this has been there from time immemorial. Weight training is dangerous. Weight training பண்ணா முதுகு பிடிச்சிடும். ஆனா weight training பண்ணாம முதுகு பிடிச்சா பரவாயில்ல. Weight training is definitely needed in today's world. Whether you're a man or a woman or a teenager or a boy or a girl, doesn't really matter. You need to, because I don't think we move that much. I don't think we push, pull. We never draw water from the well, or we don't push. We don't do manual work anymore. So the only time we do some manual work in the gym. At least it's sort of concised and it is probably customized and it's good for you. Weight training, I would say, is mandatory for all. Not exactly weight training, some sort of strength work. It can be body weight, something. Somewhere you need to start. I mean, ABCD column, round. You have to start some sort of strength work. If you can't, oh, I used to do 100 push-ups when I was 20. Now, I can do 2-3 days practice. I can do all in your memory. All that will never happen. You need to get into a program again. That's what I'm trying to say. I have joint pain, so I can't. This I've seen constantly. Suddenly at 35, there's a marathon, a half marathon. I want to run Wipro, I want to run Bombay, I want to run Boston, I want to run New York. And thanks to all these people who suddenly have this brain way of running marathon, my business is going very strong because of that. All 6 months, sir, my right knee is hurting, sir. Right knee, my back started hurting, so my doctors told me not to run. My job is to, please come, let me see you. I'll fix the back and make you run again. But there's a way. You need to prepare your body to run, that load, that mileage, how you escalate the mileage. Suddenly at 35, they have not played any sport. All their colleagues have started running. I'll also start running. My shin has started hurting, sir. That's why I stopped. So there's a way and modality to do. Suddenly you can't start all of a sudden because you decide to become fit in 3 days. Till 35, you are sleeping quietly. Suddenly 35, decide on best ways. Immediately, for most of men I've seen, immediately when they'll get to the treadmill, start running. So, I mean, this goes on and on. The business solution was a careful auditor, which accounts, auditing, but in the quarter, profit, and the quarter, loss, meeting, auditing, or committee meeting, inquiry. 5 kilometers, wait, correct, but I have told. Oh, that's a joke. Please don't trust all this. And people around you will fox you. Wait, now consider it. Consider இல்ல சொன்னா நீ பேச மாட்டோம் அவரோட திட்டுவேன் வெயிட் எல்லாம் யாரும் குறைக்கவே முடியாது எப்படி வளர வந்து நீங்க ஃபிட் ஆகினே போவீங்க நான் 20ல இருந்த மாதிரி இப்போ இன்னும் எங்க இருக்கீங்க So I also use this line, ma'am. I used to know your mother very well. You're right, your ex's daughter, right? No, I am the ex. Oh, that's all bullshitting. We all do all our life, okay? Don't trust all this. Don't trust your relatives. The worst enemies are your friends and relatives. Don't ask. DEXA scan is there. இந்த போங்க அவ்வளோ பெட் போங்க இல்லை எனி ஸ்கேன் சென்டர் போயிட்டு யூ டேக் அ DEXA scan and say 33%, 43 kgs of muscle, 17 kgs of fat. But my neighbor says I've lost weight. Oh, you don't trust the DEXA scan, but you trust your neighbor because the neighbor says you're looking good. How weak we are in the mind. Don't fall for all those things. Take a DEXA scan after 6 months and see. You increase fat, you don't need to ask anybody. Wow, you're entering the grave. Okay. So for starters, there are many centers. Let's do a DEXA scan. That will open your eyes. I'm telling you. The Indian cricket team, we started the DEXA scan. It changed the entire fitness outlook of all the players. DEXA scan எடுத்தோன்னா அவனுக்கு fat percentage வந்துடும் எல்லாருக்கும் இருக்கும். So who's low, who's high, everything. And after 6 months we do. If your muscle is going down and your fat is going up, you don't need to ask anyone. You're not fit or either fit, one of the two. So do a DEXA scan and do not ask your friends or neighbors. They will always bluff. Okay, don't trust them. The closest friend and even your spouse will only say, நீங்க நல்லா இப்ப நல்லா குறைச்சிட்டீங்க இப்ப நல்லா குறைச்சிட்டீங்க பாவம் எவ்வளவு நாள் தான் நீங்க நல்லா சொல்லுங்க. So don't trust anyone in this DEXA. Just do a DEXA scan. That will be an actual measure of what you are. And then every year or every 2 years or every year it's better actually. Every year you do a DEXA, and at least allies in Wonderland. Okay, how much ever you're running, you're still running the same. Just to maintain your health and fitness, you need to do a lot of things. Okay, sorry, I'm not here to dampen your spirits. I'm at least trying to give you closures here. Okay, and the good news is, the human body adapts to almost everything. Tomorrow you decide to change your lifestyle and your health status, and you decide to change your fitness programs. The body will start responding quickly. It is not that the human body responds to everything, whether it's good or bad.
Right. So
Repeat that. And should I start playing a sport to get back to fitness? I definitely say no to this.
no,
because you need to definitely start with some sort of a fitness program before you get into sport.
I won't.
Massage is definitely good. Pool session massage. I mean, if you start regularly exercising, these are all great tools for recovery. How many hours of sleep?
Practical example.
Call on Mike.
Any questions coming? What is my first step to health? I think my first step to health should be a DEXA scan, and then meet a fitness expert. Okay, I throw the
Maybe-
floor open for questions. I think we are running short of time. These myths and facts I think most of them are already debunked. So I'll throw the floor open for questions, and I'll try to answer whatever I know.
How does the DEXA scan look and how do we read it? Does it have many parameters?
The DEXA scan, like if you go to any any scan center, and you tell them I am doing a DEXA scan not to
Price
check
to
my
sell.
bone density, but to ascertain my fat percentage. So it is a non-invasive, just like an X-ray. You just have to lie down. It takes 10 minutes to do a DEXA scan, and it will give you a fat percentage, and it will give you your lean body mass, which is your amount of muscle you have in the body, and fat mass, the amount of fat you have in the body.
And which vendor I should buy from?
Yeah.
Oh, for this towel.
I don't think. I think most of you can hear me, right?
I'm looking for this to remove all the mics.
Yeah, my question is about here. How you define the fitness? It depends on the age, right? 20 years age, the fitness factor is different.
So again, this. I mean, I've heard this question several times. People say 30 எவ்வளவு சார் ஃபிட்டா இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னாங்க. 60 years Boston Marathon ஓடுறோம். So how do you define? I think it's a priority. I mean, I think you need to set your own personal record. I don't think you need to see anybody else. Unless you're competing in some sports. I think again, it's a very personalized thing. It has to be customized. Your fitness goals and your fitness status, your gene, your race, your family's health status, your generation, all these things play a major role. Let's say that, like if you see the 100 meters finals in the Olympics, we always know who we see the list. It's most of the time is African Americans. So obviously they are blessed with fast twitch fibers, and they have a standing advantage over others. So when it comes to 100 meters, that are always African Americans. When you see a lot of chess, you see a lot of Russians and Indians and a lot of other people coming into this. If you see a lot of tennis, there are a lot of white Americans and Europeans and Spaniards playing. So it also depends on the community, what they do in that community and all those things. And you can't exactly, for 30 I need to be this fit, for 40 I need to be this fit. But what we say is with the DEXA, at least it will give you a fat percentage and muscle mass. That's a good point to start. So try to stay within the parameters of fat and muscle.
Excuse me, can you go to the slide number, I think 4, point number 3, if I remember correctly. Can you go to that slide, please? No, it is stress. Yeah, this is right. That electromagnetic stress, I think in last 50 years, the amount of electromagnetic wave that is available in anywhere in the globe, it has grown not 100-fold, maybe 1,000-fold.
What is it? That's
And
good.
our body is continuously interacting with those electromagnetic wave of different magnitude and strengths. Now, it is an invisible stress acting on our body, especially on the nervous system, at all the times,
Exactly.
wherever we are.
Exactly.
Okay, we cannot isolate ourselves, and we might think that we are in a very safe environment, but then we are not.
Definitely not.
Now,
Like
my question-
my dermatologist told me that we had some issues in skin. He says that time I was just constantly practicing in my gym and I'm hardly stepping out. He says, wear a sunscreen. Sir, look at it. He said, yes, all these things have stress. Wear a sunscreen. And he had some science to it, which I'm not clear about what he said. He says, like he said, these things are just there everywhere. And our job is to cut down the number of stress, that's all.
No,
Like,
my,
if you have 6 elements coming into your system, and if you're not moving well, you're not eating well, and you're not taking care of your other elements in life, try to cut down all the minus points as much as possible. If you can't cut down everything, at least try to minimize it.
now, my question is slightly different. Wherever people have done some kind of experiment or studies, these are mostly by individuals or amateur group, which were totally rejected by the government agencies and government bodies. I'm talking about across the
Who
world.
is not
Now-
acknowledging that? World Health Organization is not acknowledging
Now,
those
my
researches.
question is there any study report available with you or authentic data available with you? He suggests that yes, it impacts. Till date, there is a question mark.
NSA has several papers which says, again, it's empirical. You're asking for peer research reviews. There are enough empirical evidences which says electromagnetic stress definitely stresses on and it impacts performance in the field of sport.
Kind of sports.
So if it is affecting in field of sport, I think we can only take a couple of leads from there for general.
Because there are a lot of cases have gone into court in different parts of the world, and everywhere there is no conclusive evidence and a
Absolutely.
question mark, and then they don't.
Absolutely.
But then we all know that it is having an impact.
Sir, we all know that cigarette smoking will definitely give you cancer, but still people smoke.
No, but then,
Like that, certain things are not conclusive, but as a matter of fact, as a fitness professional, we have practiced for so many years, we know that this is
yes, I
affecting.
agree with you. Like cigarette authorities have accepted, and that is why they give
Statutory warning.
statutory warning. But for this was statutory
No,
warning.
there is conclusive
They were
evidence
accepting.
on stresses on sports performance. So when there is conclusive evidence on performance, there has to be definite conclusive evidence on health. There has to be a
There are
leap out of it.
evidence and reports which are acceptable by the sports bodies.
Yes.
That
I
is
mean, the
what
Australian Cricket Board has made it mandatory to wear dark glasses and sunscreen.
And if it becomes conclusive, maybe we cannot conduct business.
Yes. I mean, like Chris Mond is a very, very great fitness professional. If you wait for proper conclusive evidence and everything, like people still follow the food pyramid, but the whole fitness world knows that the food pyramid is flawed. Like just recently, we had this cholesterol myth being busted after how many years? 50 years. The numbers of cholesterol, 200 and 120 and all this things got busted. Triglycerides, and all these things are busted now. Now people are talking about VLDL and good fats, and we're not worried too much about all these things now. I mean, they are talking, fats have come back into the system in the last 10 years, like omega-3s, olive oil, and people are talking about ghee and natural fats and stuff like that. Only, I mean, the whole world now talks about the excessive carbohydrate consumption, which is a matter of fact.
After 10 years, some research will come, will say carbohydrate also is a bust.
No, but I think I mean, it's not about the research. When you try it out on yourself, you try one sort of a meal plan for yourself, you try another meal plan. There are 10 different meal plans.
Like you said, each body is a different
Very
one,
different.
right? 15, 20 years back, there was a big research published, and it was published very much in India. Like coconut oil is causing problem in the heart. Okay. They targeted Kerala and destroyed it.
I read that article too.
And there was a Kerala scientist who went and fought this in US court, won it. Coconut oil does not create any problem in heart. That was not published in India. Even now, doctors say coconut oil is harmful. I challenge them.
To answer your question, I started recommending coconut oil exactly 20 years back.
No, but which
So,
gets publicized?
no,
The
that time,
negative
no,
factor
there was no evidence to support what my claim.
They did research, right?
No, they didn't have any support, but the Czech practitioners, like I studied in Czech Institute, I mean, I mean, Paul Check is a person who founded Check Institute. He was always ahead of his times, and I'm not a person who is sort of enamored by one person. But I understood that most of the times when you try it, the body actually talks to you. You don't need to go and have a food allergy test, or you don't need to ask anyone. And like for instance, I grew up in a era and a family where we were vegetarians. All my life I had carbohydrates, all 8 meals in a day. Okay. Now, at this point of my life, if I have that excessive amount of carbohydrates, I immediately see my body swelling. And I take a DEXA scan, I increase fat percentage in a jiff. My muscle mass goes down. And if I don't have protein, so it is a very clear indication, my own personal research.
Is it because you're mentally tuned to that
No,
DEXA
the
scan and not living like a normal South Indian?
No,
It's
I'm
a
just talking, I'm
stress.
constantly taking my DEXA scan
That's
every
what I'm
6
saying.
months.
So there is somewhere in consciousness in your mind that this is
But the
carbohydrate.
scientific paper which is coming out of a DEXA scan.
Scientific all based. All scientific theories are based. I will tell you. I will tell you. One, I will challenge all scientific theories. Right?
Okay.
I will
That's
take.
very subjective again.
A subject.
Okay.
I'm a non-vegetarian. Okay.
Right.
So based on doctors' calorie, this thing, the best non-veg is fish.
Okay.
Second is chicken, then mutton.
Any rating. Okay,
No,
that's
I'm talking the danger mark.
Yeah.
Above mutton is beef, above beef is camel. Okay. Indians are normally chicken eaters. So which is the second category of danger. But in India, Muslims are mostly mutton eaters. Middle East are camel eaters. Highly dangerous. The king of Saudi Arabia died only at the age of 90.
Eskimos, they don't have any vegetables. That's what I say. One man's food is another man's poison.
So you cannot say by eating food you get.
Definitely no.
Right.
Definitely no.
So now you are tuned to.
You see a lot of Indian Brahmin elderly people, they live on carbohydrates and they live up to 80, 90 years and absolutely fine. That's what I said. What works for you, that's what we all look differently from the outside. We all function differently from the inside. Was my opening line. Okay, one man's food is another man's poison. And everything cannot go by the research. But by and large, we only talk about our experiences. I have seen in the last 20 years, I would have seen more than 20,000 clients. And the best part is for the first 10,000 clients, I did a lot of mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, like you can't pattern anything. You can't say this is a pattern and you can't give certain closures on certain things. Certain things, we understand that people coming from this region, they are fine with this. Like for example, so all of you please read this book called Good Calories, Bad Calories by Gary Taubes. Okay, this is an amazing book. This person challenged all the research in the world, and we are all a big fan of him. But openly, we can't admit it because it doesn't align himself with all the researchers. But he lived with tribes, he lived with certain communities, and did extensive research. You take the case of Eskimos, they eat only red meat. They don't eat any vegetables or fruits because it's snowing half the time. It's cold. And they're all absolutely fine. They took a couple of Eskimos from the sort of region and put them in normal cities and they started living like others and they had their first heart attack.
Their body condition is tuned to that.
Body condition is tuned to that, they're used to the diet, their movement and everything. So the body is in sync with the nature also. Like if you had been a caveman, you would have lived close to nature. Early morning, I mean, you need to move around to get your hunting first. Okay, so you get your exercise, you push, pull, twist, bend, whatever you have to do.
Say, too much of knowledge is not causing a problem.
Otherwise,
Too much of knowledge is not causing a problem.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have to take what works for you. That's what.
That's what. So this point I do agree. So rather than making us live very relaxed, eat and enjoy about it, you're making us forced to think if you eat this, this is calorie. See, when
I never count calories.
Anyway, but you are recommending to read good fat and bad. Why should
No,
I
no,
worry
good.
about fat? I should worry about taste and eat it. If it gets digested, I will eat it.
No,
If
as long as it works for you, fine.
That's what.
That's what I
If it
said.
doesn't get it, my body doesn't accept it. Next time I won't eat it.
So, there are so many priorities
The
for
knowledge
people.
is needed because you have invasion of other food.
See,
Like for example,
that knowledge is creating stress in your mind. Before you touch anything, you are reading. Children, what? I am talking about children. They go to the store.
Sir, debate,
take a
can you
thing
take
and
it later?
read how much calories are there?
Debates, like, we'll take it later. We'll ask only Q&As. Okay.
Okay, what works for you?
Is the fitness always related to the size?
Pardon me?
Is the fitness always related to the size? Because
Science.
yes,
Yes.
size
Science.
of the
Okay.
person.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like there are somato-typing. We call it mesomorph, endomorph, ectomorph. Like if you see if you see Rafael Nadal, he's a mesomorph. He's well built. I think if he comes to the gym and looks at the other people working on, he'll add muscle. They made like that. It's called somatotyping. Okay, there are enough research on that. Once certain people are ectomorph, they are tall and angular. It's very difficult to add muscle for them, but they'll be very good in sort of a certain sort of range of motion sort of exercises. Certain people are endomorph. They, in general, they look plump. So these are somatotyping, and by and large, the world I think relates with size 0, size -1, size 2, size 4, size 5. And for men, it's always about oh, I can play tennis, I can lift this much weight, I can do push-ups, I can do curl-ups and stuff like that. This is sort of a conditioning over a period of time. I think it has to be much holistic. I think you need to tick all the boxes. I think the first most important thing is whether your sleep and hydration status is very critical in terms of your health over a period of time. If these two things are screwed up for say 10 years, 15 years, it can have cascading effect on your body. That is also a part of fitness sort of a funda. And the rest one we're talking about is running 5K or lifting weights is a performance oriented fitness. And the third point is your lifestyle and other things. I think we have to encompass everything together to lead a life which allows you to connect with yourself. At the end of the day, it's about your comfort also. And I don't think you're competing with anyone. If you're competing with someone, then you should be playing a sport. I mean, I think you're competing with yourself, and you want to maximize and leverage your own fitness level. I think the best to always compare yourself with your highs and lows. I mean, performance is very different from health and fitness.
Hi, Rajkumar. Any research by the Europeans or English people you can say? What I feel is mostly linked to the business.
I'm not hearing you properly.
Any research by the English, what I feel is mostly linked to the business benefit, which you will not come to know now, you will come to know at a later stage.
Business benefit? What?
No, he said like research for commercial gains.
Commercial gains.
Fitness for commercial gains.
Research by Europeans and US. Whenever they do some kind of research, it's like business linked. The impact is realized after
The research results are linked to commercial
You
gains.
talked about the cholesterol suddenly going up, they change the parameters, and the sugar they change, all they say research.
You're getting into a controversy there. It's a much
I am
bigger
very reluctant to observe or follow those.
You're reluctant to follow this.
No, I'm just saying, putting my point.
It's a statement or a question? Statement and a question.
Next question. I'm not asking
his opinion actually.
I mean, I think it's better you'll ask me questions.
Yeah.
So your statement mean I think you should talk one of them and be a speaker on this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for a nice presentation. I have two questions.
Yeah.
I have two questions. One is both are related to women's health.
I'll come closer.
So both are related to women's health. One.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Speak louder, no problem. One is almost all the women who cross the 30s or 35, they are having knee problem or knee pain or osteoarthritis. Okay, whether the fitness program will help them. That is my first question. And second one is almost in the 40s or late 40s, they are having some menopause, pre-menopause or post-menopause, or somewhat they may be in the menopause phase. So whether the fitness programs help them in such a way.
Lovely question. Good one. Good question. I think exercise does help at all stages. That's a broad-based answer for both your questions.
Yeah.
And when we talk about knee pain or back pain, you have to understand that the human body works as a kinetic chain. This is musculoskeletal. Okay. So most of your back issues comes from your hip. Okay. So your butt muscle is the most important muscle. Okay. If you notice when you're young, your butt muscle is well pronounced and in good shape. As you I mean, it is a sort of a delicate issue to talk across, but nevertheless, all of you can do a poor man's mirror check. When you stand in front of the mirror and see, if you don't see your butt cheek, okay, if you don't see your dimple in your butt, that means you have a dysfunctional glute. Okay, I mean, I wrote an article some years back, but four full stops, seriously, but seriously. Okay, you need to definitely keep your glute strength going. Like if you read any research in sports or fitness or anything, there's so much written about glute strength. Okay, the glute strength is so critical in your functionality with regards to your knee, back, flexion, extension, lateral flexion, anything. So most of the women or men who get knee pain, early onset of knee pain at the age of 30 or late 20s, it is nothing but a lack of glute function. And with regards to your menopause issues and other things, your body is going through a sort of a hormonal change. And the first thing which robs from your system is strength. Very, very critical at that point of time. They go through a good strength program and have a balanced meal plan. And that's the time when they also go off from a balanced meal plan. So exercise does help for both these things.
I would like to add one more point to what we have said. The second point, when you are either pre-menopause or during menopause or post-menopause, you are actually, your body, physical condition is going through the reverse process. And that also adds stress psychologically. Now, yes, if you go to an expert and do proper exercise, it will help to overcome your emotional and psychological stress as well.
Huge stress buster.
It makes a lot of difference.
I mean, again, I tell you, exercise is a drug of choice. Do the right exercise, you earn the benefits. You do the wrong type of exercise, I mean, you will say, oh, this exercise gave me back pain. I don't want to do it. I want to avoid it. Disbelief. So again, it's a choice. That's why I always insist that you consult the right fitness professional.
If you can talk a bit more about your studio, what do you do on the
Okay, my studio started in the year 2009. I mean, I've been in the field of fitness for the last 20 years. My studio's name is Primal Patterns Holistic Fitness Studio. Started in 2009. The reason was there was a time when things started changing in the fitness industry, and it was governed mostly by equipment dealers and business owners who are running the show when it comes to fitness. Very seldom you see a technician starting a fitness studio. So, I mean, with a lot of difficulties, we decided, okay, we'll start something on a personal level. So, our studio was a personal training studio. We do only personal training one-on-ones. So, this is the first of the kind in this part of the world, and I think almost everyone told me this will not work. I mean, I don't feel great about it today, but it's a new idea, a one-on-one concept, and people thought that we charged a lot. And I always felt that people are ready to go on a weekend and have a dinner, and the bills will be 4,000 to 5,000. They're fine with that. But come and give you 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees a fitness expert to get some consultation. People are not ready for it. And I said we need to break this, and I'm a professional. I need to eat out of this. And like a chartered accountant or a medical professional or any other professional, I'm a professional, and I need to be respected. And for that, what can I do? I can improve my expertise. I can improve my domain knowledge. I can give you solutions. So instead of looking at myself as a fitness expert, I said I'm a solution provider, and I will try like the hell to give you solution. And I constantly kept on studying about this. I have an exercise science background, and I have a strength and conditioning background, personal training background, and blah blah blah. It goes on. I never stop studying. Even the last year, I had to do some CECs, and I love it. I mean, I will never work one day in my life because it's my passion, my lifeline, and everything. So I don't think I work. We started this in 2009, and we started giving solutions. So the congregation became like people wanted aesthetic solutions, people wanted sort of pain ache reliefs, people wanted sort of meal plans. So ours became a holistic fitness studio. So for sort of a lifestyle consultancy to nutritional meal plan, to back pain clinics, to aesthetics, to sports, to everything. We cater to all sorts of needs, fixed training, everything. And you can check my website www.primalpatterns.com.
And all these solutions are available in your studios?
Yes, yes. We have three studios, one in Kottuppuram, one in Besanagar, and one in Nungambakam.
What is the expected qualification of your fitness
Sir, there are not many fitness qualification in India. I mean, a lot of physical education, like BPH and MPH, doesn't come under exercise science necessarily. They come under physical education. So, exercise science. I mean, you can look for people who have done exercise science degree, or you can look for a lot of international organizations like American Council on Exercise or National Strength and Conditioning Association or National Association of Sports Medicine. These are all basic terminologies. I mean, I'll leave a few lines here. I mean, most of the fitness trainers are self-styled. They're dangerous. Like a lot of people read a few things. It's a good 7 years. I mean, for you to finish your exercise science and biomechanics, it takes a good 7 years. I mean, my father said, "You படிச்சது நீ டாக்டருக்கே படிச்சிடலாம்." I said, "இதுக்கு என்ன குறைச்சல்?" I mean, I'm very happy to do this, and I'm very proud to be a fitness trainer more than anything else. And I wear the badge in my heart, and I'm very happy to be this ambassador today. And if you want to look for qualification of a fitness trainer, I will leave a list here, and people can always pick it. I've written several blogs on that.
One last question, please.
Okay. So, my name is Sridharan, and I have been using a fitness tracker for the past 2 years. I get the weekly report from whatever the company I have opted for, and what is the next step on it? You said you will give some inputs on how to use a fitness tracker.
I think I'm not an advocate of Fitbit, but I think Fitbit just works very well.
Even I.
Fitbit Surge works very nice one, and I think I've used all the fitness trackers, and this is close.
This is close. There is a full accuracy on data.
Yes, and most of them don't want a sort of a belts, and this works very well. And there are a few more trackers coming. I'm also lining it up. Let me test it out.
Okay, fine. How that data will help me to work on my fitness?
The initial part is going to help you because it gives you a directive and it gives you a reflection of what you do, right?
Okay.
And you can export all your data as a CSV file and do it for a month and export it and see. You'll exactly know what you're doing.
Okay.
And even if you're very diligent and very, very clear on what you're going to do, 3 months is the time you have to compare yourself. And I think this fitness tracker, more than anything, it's going to give a reflection about your movement and everything.
Okay. Final thing, add-on question. Having a fitness coach and going against fitness for young age, it's fine. For elderly parents, do you think any natural way of going for a walk for half an hour or something like that?
Definitely. I mean, you have to keep moving. Okay. But if they have an issue, and if you feel that their health and status is dwindling in the gym, then I think it's better you consult someone.
Sure.
I mean, we have 70-year-olds coming into our gym.
Okay.
The oldest person who's coming to my gym is about 74 years old.
Okay.
And I have seen one person at 80 years old. I've seen people with ankylosing spondylitis and whatnot. All sorts of people we've seen. And we try to alleviate their condition by exercise. We don't try to elevate their condition. And the youngest we have seen is, 6 years we have seen. I mean, they have to understand our cues. And we have kids program, we have geriatric population coming into our system, we have people with all sorts of walks of life coming into our system.
Thank you.
Last 3 questions.
Okay, last 3 questions.
Yeah, it was my.
Let there be questions, not statements.
Why is coming motion between so obsessively popular one? I saw my grandpa.
Ganesh, just use your mic.
Hello. It's working. Yeah, it's working.
Is it okay? Why is tummy portion? Everyone sees it. Now also you are talking about your midsection. Okay. I saw my daddy, my grandpa, they all had the tummies, but they decent life. But even in films also I'm seeing this tummy portion, this area they call 6 packs, 8 packs, 4 packs. And they show for women also know the 0 size and all those things. Why by exercise means why this portion alone they focus more?
Sir, exercise has got no relevance to tummy, sir.
Yeah.
Abs are made in the kitchen first. Exercise ko stomach to saman mein illa. Most of the weight loss, 80% comes from your kitchen. Okay, and exercise definitely helps you to kickstart it better. Okay, it increases your metabolism, and especially the first 12 weeks, it's 90%. It's all nutrition. Okay. And after 12 weeks, and if you can start some strength training and some cardiovascular exercises, it will kickstart. It will only hasten the process. And the reason why you see the stomach protruding is because if you see the human skeleton itself, there's a big cavity there. So most of the deposition happens there. And there are 7 sites usually we measure fat. One is for men, we measure the triceps, we measure the chest, we measure the upper back and the mid axillary, and we measure the abdomen and the thigh. It is just not in one place. But when you decorate yourself, the midsection has got a big cavity, so it's very obvious.
If I wanted to pick up a career in sites,
Pardon me?
maybe if I want to pick up a career in fitness sites,
Fitness, okay.
okay, and living like you, as you're some banker, you got. What is your suggestions?
I mean, a lot of people now ask me this question. I mean, the American Council on Exercise has got a good course on personal training, and it is an online course, and you need to properly write that exam. Just not, I mean, you can't fool around with that exam. I mean, if you prepare yourself, and any graduate who's gone to a decent college, I think generally can clear this basic exam in 6 months' time. That does not qualify you to kill people, but that definitely qualify you to definitely step into the industry, and that's the first step. I call it as a 10th standard exam.
Yeah, I have a question. It's more like an advice that is required. I did hear you say that the best practice is sleep by 10:30 and maybe get up by 6 o'clock or whatever it is. That's practically possible for people who might have a regular day shift. I work in a night shift. So yes, I don't get to sleep at 10:30. I sleep around 3 o'clock in the morning. I try to meet that 8 hours of sleep. But even though I get up in the morning, I still don't feel that energy.
Definitely.
It's not a fresh sleep or whatever. I force myself to go do some exercise activities. Maybe at that time I feel a bit fresh. Then I get back to work. But again, mid work, like say evening 9, 10 or something, again you start losing out that energy. So what is that I need to do different? Because it's not actually helping.
Got it. You say that I can't avoid sleeping late. So we're not having a debate there. So point given to you. Okay. The first set goes to you. There are so many other things you can do right. Like so you can take care of your meal plan. Let's say that there are 6, 7 things robbing your energy. One thing is just sleep wake cycle. We can't do anything about it, so there's no nothing about talking about it. What about your meal plan, your exercise pattern? So many other boxes you can tick. So basically I'm a person who likes to tick a lot of boxes. So if there are 8 boxes for you to tick and okay, 1 box is not even valid, there are 7 more boxes. Try to have an exploration over the 7 boxes, have a discussion, debate, and deliberate on those things. And it's just not sleep. Sleep is definitely the most important thing for me. But then if you leave sleep, then there is nutrition, movement, exercise, and lifestyle. We can work on those things.
So one of the reasons could be the meal, or is it like the time when I'm doing my exercise?
It can be the timing of your meal, and it can be the choices of the meal. I mean, as I told you, like constantly, if you want to be on denial, you can be in denial. Okay, you want to have a positive outlook or a negative outlook is your choice. At the end of the day, somebody asked me, okay, Basu, I listen to all these things and I live till 120 years. I said, of course, I'm trying to help you. Now, don't try to come with if you want to ask all these questions to me, then I think you're in denial. Okay, I mean, look at yourself. When you look at yourself in a mirror, you know that you're not doing great yourself. So, not you, exactly, in general. Okay, so you're the best answer for yourself. You don't need to ask anyone. As I told you, you don't ask your friend, don't ask your neighbor. Do a DEXA scan after 6 months. உடனே வந்து டெக்ஸா ஸ்கேன்ல வந்து ரே வந்து இது பண்ணிடும். அது ஒரு ஸ்மால் திங். ஆனால் தம்மு மட்டும் 4 அடிப்பேன், அது ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் கிடையாது. தம் அடிச்சுனே வந்து இந்த ஆப்பிள் குட்டா ஆரஞ்சு குட்டா டேய் முதல்ல அதை கீழே போடுறேன், அப்புறம் ஆப்பிள் குட்டா ஆரஞ்சு குட்டா நான் சொல்றேன். There are so many things you can correct. I can have a positive outlook for so many things in life. Some people will say, sir, beer is good or wine is good? Both is bad. Both is bad. I read somewhere that wine will actually help my skin. You read? No. You believe it? Go ahead. Most of the times you're looking for an answer, which is invariably somebody is recreating my point. Don't look for such answers. Okay? I mean, Google app, download it, check. If you're not sure, then consult a health professional. Do not come to a conclusion of half-baked knowledge. Last question.
Body size and the energy both are related or not?
Body size?
Body size. Some people are.
Body size and energy. Illa sir. Somatottyping and energy has got no relation.
The Brazilian player of 140 kg is hitting 10 sixes. But
Chris Gale is 110 kilos, but he's got 6% fat. 6% fat only. There's another fellow on our team who's 93 kilos, who's got 40% fat. So size does not matter. Size matters in a different way. I mean, if you look at all the sprinters in the Olympics, they're all big made guys, but they have a lot of muscle. Their ability to produce force and transfer force is enormous.
Yeah, this Ramesh. Actually, blood pressure is very common nowadays, and we are all continuing tablets to keep it normal level. Okay. So in this situation, whether we can go forward. We are already
What is the question?
BP is common in nature nowadays, and to keep correct level, we have to keep tablets. Again,
Okay, this is a very personal question for me also, because at the age of 9, my son was diagnosed with essential hypertension. At the age of 9. And from the age of 9, my son is on ethanol. Okay, I put him on all the scanners in the world and all the physicians in the world. I consulted everyone for blood pressure. And we all thought there was some primary reason. There was no primary reason. At the age of 9, idiopathy. We didn't know, no reason. And he was not that excessively normal. He was not obese enough. And now he's a proper athlete. He is a 100 meters runner. He plays cricket and he's very fit. He's also a fitness trainer. But from the age of 9, he has blood pressure. But the answer to your question is, if you have blood pressure, all the more reason for you to have a proper meal plan, good lifestyle, and good exercise.
Firstly, we can go for a walk.
Yes, it will only help you. It will only help you.
Yeah.
Unless you are gravely diseased and you are bedridden and your doctors have advised otherwise, definitely diabetes, blood pressure, and any sort of these type of ailments, exercise alleviates your situation.
Yeah. Why I'm asking this question, the pressure always gives something to the heart, that already it is being expressed.
But you need the shunting of blood for your blood pressure to settle down over a period of time. If you don't move at all, it is only going to increase, and the pressure on the walls is going to constantly increase.
Yeah. No, just I wanted to consult whether it is.
Definitely, even the physicians will recommend you to do exercise.
I share my personal experience. Let us say you are in a medication for high blood pressure. Do regular walking and sincerely.
Okay, it was lovely talking to you all. Thank you. Okay, lovely talking to you all. I tried to give you some clarity. And with pleasure, and see you all soon.
Lovely session. Thank you so much. I'm sure the questions never end. So he's off stage now. You can get hold of him. But I'm sure he's going to be much more open to answer all of our questions. And I would suggest let's stick to questions, no debates, and let's not make it difficult. But thank you, sir. Really, it was very enlightening. I think all those myths and all those misconceptions busted. I know I asked you a question, how can I reduce in 2 months? Now I know. I'm not going to ask that anymore. So,
just to add on, Mr. Basu has been kind enough. He's actually offered one free consultation at his place. If you are interested, please get in touch with Mr. Srinath, who's over there, and he would take it forward. Thank you.
That's very nice of you, sir. Thank you so much.
That one free consultation session will answer all your queries. So it can be an 1 hour session on nutrition or exercise or therapy or whatever you want. Please contact Srinath and you can book your session. The value of the session is usually 2,000 rupees. It's up to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for another 10 minutes, anybody wants to ask me a question, you can come and see.
I think the questions are over for now. But thank you so much. You can maybe take that up offline once we're done. Thank you, really, sir. I think it's very kind of you to be accepting so many questions and answering all of them. I'd like to invite Mr. Prasanna on stage to present our guest speaker with the memento. Thank you, Krishna. Yeah, so getting on to our usual agenda, any new members here, Chennai chapter, any new PMI members here, please come on to the dais. We'd all love to see the new members that we have. Any new members? PMI, Chennai chapter, PMI? Anybody who's cleared any certifications? PMP, APM?
Recent pass out of.
Yeah, any recent pass outs?
Please come.
Hi, I'm Bashir Ahmad. I did pass my PMP on last September. So this is the first time I'm getting into the session because unfortunately the first few emails went into the spam folder. I haven't marked the vice president's email, so I'm not aware of it. Last time I got it, but unfortunately due to former Chief Minister it was cancelled. So this is the first session, and I don't know whether it's fortunate or unfortunate. I lost 6 kg during my course of pursuing my PMP. And so that comes